Good afternoon and welcome to my presentation on the question, what is worth teaching? My name is Heather Campbell and I am a University Studies major clustering in child development and teaching English as a second language. I have developed 3 questions that branch out of the question, what is worth teaching? Question 1, how much time should I spend on preparation? Question 2, how do I determine if a doctrine or principle is too deep for my students? Question 3, what teaching methods would be most effective to teach a specific doctrine, principle, or application? Let's look a little more closely at the first question. How much time should I spend on preparation? The time a teacher devotes to class preparation is determined by the class material, learnability of the students, classroom circumstances, and the experience of a teacher. According to a question that was asked on reddit.com, the average time spent on class preparation is normally 2 times the length of a class. A more experienced teacher may need less time, while a new or less experienced teacher may need more. In my own personal experiences as a primary teacher for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I spent a lot of time on preparation during my first couple years. During my 3rd and 4th and subsequent years teaching, I found that I required less time to prepare because I knew the material better. The important thing to consider is to follow the Spirit. Some lessons may need more time, while others will need less. It is important to take the time needed to ensure that the material is known so the teacher can effectively teach it. Let's discuss the second question now. How do I determine if a doctrine or principle is too deep for my students? The only way to know if a student is able to grasp a concept is to know the student. Who is the student and what is his or her interests, strengths, or weaknesses? Taking the time to get to know the students will not only help the teachers determine their ability, but also build trust between the students and teachers. If there is trust in a classroom, students are more likely to learn. I work with a special needs kindergarten student. Before I began any teaching, I took the time to learn about my charge. He trusts me and is willing to work alongside with me instead of working against me or fighting me. That trust makes our work more effective. Let's go over the third question. What teaching methods would be most effective to teach specific doctrines, principles, or applications? Before a teacher can determine an effective method, a teacher must develop a teaching philosophy. Over the course of my studies of child development and education, I have determined that I follow a combination of 2 common philosophies. The first philosophy that I follow is an existentialism philosophy. That means I view students as free individuals who need to be a part of deciding the learning process. Just like Elder A. Bednar states, I believe that students need to act instead of being acted upon. This means that my students help to choose what or how they learn. It also means that I take the time to listen to my students, get them using their own brains, and help them find the answers to their own questions. But existentialism is lacking by itself. I also believe in an essentialism philosophy, which means that there are certain core materials that everyone needs to learn. One way to determine that essential learning is met is standardized tests. Sometimes these tests are not fun, but they do need to be administered. It's the combination of both philosophies that opens up a classroom to effective teaching. Learning should also be done in small groups, large groups, or even one-on-one. Sometimes a student may have a challenge that makes working in a group more difficult. That is where focusing learning on one-on-one situations may be best for the student until they are ready to work in larger groups. Either way, effective teaching methods have a level of flexibility that allows the teacher to adjust as necessary. Flexibility is key. In conclusion, effective teachers take the time to prepare, build a trusting relationship with the students, and are flexible in their teaching methods. Effective teachers will be able to determine what is worth teaching and teach it. Thank you for your time. Until next time, happy teaching.